Hello, I'm Ryan F9 and these are my top 5 motorcycle life hacks. First up, we're gonna make ourselves a waterproof tank bag for 25 cents. I've got this large Ziploc bag, which I spent the quarter on, and then I've got these 4 magnets here that I got for free. I mean, these came as a spare set in one of my old tank bags, but you could also nick the magnets off your fridge or raid the supplies at some real estate office, whatever. So I put the bag on my tank, and I'm gonna grab a magnet to stick into each corner. So we'll do one here, another one up there, and one more on this side. I probably don't even need a fourth, like that. Awesome, so then I have my waterproof tank bag. I mean, I can stick my phone in there and read text messages. I could throw a map in here if I have to follow along. Whatever it is, no matter what I put in here, it's gonna stay dry and it's gonna stay solidly in place. Now, we're gonna hack my old riding gloves. Now, these Climb Adventures here, they're not waterproof, they never were. But let's say that I hit a rainstorm. Maybe it's too hot for me to put on my waterproof gloves, or maybe I don't have any. And then I just take these rubber mechanic gloves and slip them on, which is always a little bit trickier than it looks. And because they're so slim, I can still fit my Climb Adventures on over top. Now, when I do this, I have a riding glove with a 100% completely waterproof barrier underneath. And instead of spending $150 on new gloves, well, I only spent a few cents. Bear in mind that water will still leak through the outer fabric, so the solution is not going to be very warm, but it is still way better than if I had no waterproof lining at all. Now, we're going to hack my helmet face shield using Head & Shoulders shampoo. When this was brand new, it had an anti-fog coating, but after 2 years of riding, it's totally worn off. I mean, just look. It fogs up easily. So I'm gonna take a bit of water and I'm gonna try to clean the visor really well. Now we're gonna buff this later, so I don't want any grit left here on the lens. That might scratch it up when I start rubbing it afterwards. So once that's good and clean, we're gonna take it out, we're gonna dry it off. It's good to get this nice and dry, that's gonna be really important. And then after that, we're gonna use dandruff shampoo. It is important, by the way, that you use dandruff shampoo as opposed to the regular stuff. So once that's really good and dry, I take a bit of dandruff shampoo, and just with my fingers, I'm gonna rub it all over the lens here. A bit there, a bit more. It's good to do both sides of the lens as well, because it could fog up from the inside or the outside, so it's worth doing both sides. Once you have it spread really good across the lens, you kind of want to let it sit for about 5 minutes, just so that it can set and leave a really good film all across the lens. All right, so it's been 5 minutes, thanks to the magic of video. And now I just take a clean cloth or paper towel and I just start buffing out that Head & Shoulders until I get the lens clear again. And look, no fog. So far as I can tell, this works because dandruff shampoo minimizes the surface tension of water and it's also hydrophilic. So because of that, when I have the shampoo film on here, the water wants to stick to it and spread all across the entire surface of the lens rather than the water clumping together and sticking to itself in little droplets, which of course is what causes fog. And by the way, shaving cream will work as a solution for anti-fogging as well. Now, you remember those magnets that we used to make our tank bag? Well, there's an easy way to store these guys that also hacks traffic lights. And as we all know, sitting at a red light is kind of brutal for motorcyclists. Sometimes our bikes aren't big enough to trigger that induction loop in the pavement, so the traffic light doesn't know that we're there and it stays red forever. So, when I'm not using my 25-cent tank bag, I just gotta stick the magnets onto my skid plate. Because traffic sensors are triggered by electromagnetic flux. So with these guys on here, all of a sudden my teeny tiny motorcycle looks like a semi-truck full of wrought iron to the traffic sensor, and voila, the light changes. Just make sure to stick your magnets to the side of your skid plate rather than the bottom. That way if you go off-road and you scrape over a log, you're not gonna lose all your magnets. And finally, my 5th motorcycle life hack is a hair elastic. Maybe I've just put a disc lock onto my front tire and I don't want to forget about that and try to ride away because that can be a very expensive mistake. So instead of spending 10 bucks for a disc lock reminder tool, I just take my hair elastic, I wrap it around the handlebar here, and then I use it to close the front brake just like that. Now I can't ride away without at least remembering why I put this hair elastic here. Another use. If you've ever done a ferry crossing on your motorcycle, you'll know that it's a little bit sketchy. I mean, I always want to go up on deck and see what's going on, but I'm afraid that if I leave my motorcycle and if the boat hits a wave or comes to a grinding halt or something, then it's enough to make the bike roll a little bit. Even if I have my bike in gear, the little bit of play that I get from the rear wheel can be enough to let it roll slightly forward, knock that kickstand up, and my bike falls over and crashes into the Lamborghini parked next to me or something. So I take my hair elastic, I lock it around the front brake, and my bike is a bit more secure. That's it for my top 5 motorcycle life hacks. Thank you guys very much for watching.